Little Miss Trash TV is back with another 90-Day Fiancé recap. And this one is super duper special because it is of the tell-all. We start out backstage as we have the last few seasons, where the producers throw all the cast together and try to film them and catch them in some petty drama. Fire the producers though, because someone forgot that Ashley is a witch. That sneaky Wiccan has gotten past security and on set with a dried bundle of sage. Then the horror begins. Someone gives Ashley a lighter and she lights the sage, attempting to bring peace, calm, and harmony to our beloved tell-all set. Ashley, get off the set with your damn sage. No one wants that shit here. Ashley, by the way, is wearing a sparkly green dress. It looks to be from Shein or something, but either way, it's very pretty and it complements her skin tone. And she tells the cast that she has lost over 100 pounds since her season aired. Can you believe that? It didn't look like she had 100 pounds to lose, but I guess she did. She's looking great. Feeling great. Kudos to you, Ashley. Just leave the sage at home next time. Nikki arrives on set, and she is looking like the geriatric Barbie doll we have come to love. Her blonde hair is piled high and looking snatched. Her razor-sharp alien claws, they are painted perfectly pink, and she is all packaged up in miles and miles of pink tulle, looking like she came straight from her quinceanera 50 years ago. If I had to guess, I think Nikki was inspired by Debbie of the last tell-all, who decided to glue a trash bag of pink feathers to herself and pair the look with gold cowboy boots. But even all this snatched icing on Nikki's cake cannot hide how broken her heart is. On the last episode, we saw that Justin Igor had broken up with her by text message, and it doesn't look like that has changed. I mean, come on, does Justin Igor really think he's Joe Jonas and he can break up with our Taylor Swift over text message? This is not gonna fly with us. Then things proceed to get a little more unsettling on set. Justin Igor? He acts like nothing's wrong. He's complimenting Nikki left and right, just like he did throughout the season.
Do you know, she reminded me the Phoenix.
Why, Justin?
The dress. Interesting.
Oh.
Is Justin Igor the biggest gaslighter to come through the 90-Day Fiancé franchise? I think we're gonna find out. His behavior is very unsettling. The good news here is this cast seems very in tune with each other. Unlike some tell-all casts where they seem to misread the room, side with villains, and offer unsolicited advice, this doesn't seem to be the case here. It looks like they all see right through Justin, their faces are horrified, and they look ready to defend our alien-fingered queen. So now we're circling back to Ashley in her green dress, and Sean asks her to read some tarot cards for the occasion. So Ashley lays them out, and surprise, we get like the Queen of Kings upside down. We get all sorts of death, despair, and terror coming our way. Who knew Ashley was such a good fortune teller? Who would have ever saw that coming? Then next up we have Piggy and her husband. I really don't even remember their first names. It feels like 7 seasons ago we met this couple and they got married in their helicopter. So anyways, it was this season and they're here and they're back and no one really cares. So now we get an update from Rob and Sophie. Their big news is that Sophie's hair is now brown. Yes, that is their news. And that Rob, shocking, likes it. I mean, she looks beautiful. So everyone's like complimenting Sophie of how beautiful she looks, yada, yada, yada. But no one gets to the point here. I want to know what happened to that trashy blonde wig. Did she return it to Party City? Did she burn it? Did she put it in the trash can? Did she have it in home for a rainy day? That wig was heinous. But alas, we get no update on that wig. Oh, and it looks like we get a little more news from Rob and Sophie besides her wig swap. We find out that Rob and Sophie have migrated from Los Angeles, California to Austin, Texas. And our tell-all queen, Shawn Robinson, 61-year-old Shawn Robinson, by the way. I mean, can you believe she is 61 years old? Every season I have to look up at the tell-all Shawn Robinson's age because I do not believe it. Anyway, so Sean Robinson tells everyone that she also used to live in dun 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 Austin, Texas. So then we switch gears and we are about to tailspin. It starts off out relatively normal. We are all talking about Rob receiving videos from other women, if that is cheating or not. Everyone's got their own opinions. And Justin Igor suddenly makes it weird for everyone on set. He's ranting about cats and American women being cat ladies, and they don't let their men masturbate to other women's videos when they're not there, so that's why they have a billion cats. And then he switches the topic to VR headsets, and it's like a video game to masturbate to other women's photos. I don't even know, so let's just cut to Justin and let him kind of spew all that crazy at you so you can decipher it yourself.
You think we can do home when you there? The best what we can do.
As long as you're honest.
It's masturbating.
Yeah, but
it's the best.
Yes, but
it's not cheating.
As long as you're
But
honest.
that's,
As long as you're honest.
listen, please. It's like virtual game. It's not cheating. It's don't see anybody. This is like virtual game with the glasses, you know? VR glasses.
So next up, we get a guest on set. She is arriving virtually all the way from London, England, and it is Sophie's mom, Claire. So unsurprisingly, Claire and Rob still do not get along. Claire and Rob immediately start fighting. Claire's beef with him is that he didn't welcome Sophie enough. He's not doing enough. He didn't get a job before she came. He brought her to that apartment. He didn't do enough for her. Sophie and her mom subscribe to the whole they need to be treated like princesses by their man type of thing, and it's a little much. I think so. I think it's a little much, and that she is a little bit hard on Rob. On the other hand, Rob is a total a-hole. Rob sucks. Rob is so mean. He is awkward. His eyes are always so alert. He's always ready to go, and his whole personality is just so unsettling, tiresome, confrontational. I mean, there's nothing likable about Rob except for he is so hot and he's got beautiful eyes. That is the only redeeming quality of Rob. So we're about to cut to a break here, and we kind of leave it off that Rob feels like Sophie's does not have his back, and that she is taking her mom's side. Sophie is like, I'm always going to take my mom's side. I am a mama's girl. And everyone's in the wrong here. So we leave and we go off set. Back to that little room. This room is where they're always trying to catch everyone in their little private convos. We've been having this, for quite a few seasons now. So, but this time we do catch someone saying something good. Sophie is kind of talking bad about Rob. She's saying, if he doesn't change, she's just going to up and leave him. Rob, with his ears sticking out of the side of his head, can hear everything. Sophie, you can see his ears. They are flying away. So Rob comes running in. Now he's being all angry and passive aggressive, and oh, you were talking about me in here? Oh no, so Sophie's like, but I'm gonna choose my mom's side. I love mom. And then Piggy chimes in. Yes, Piggy. Piggy's got some very wise advice. She tells Sophie that she should always have her partner's back. With anyone, any dispute, even her own mom, she publicly needs to have her partner's back, and then in private, they can discuss and work it out. So Piggy, who we don't even remember your first name, you're a pretty smart cookie. Other than Piggy, she's got some pretty sound advice. So now we're jumping back over to Ashley and Manuel. So they jump right into it. Sean is asking the questions none of us want to know. We dive into sex magic. So apparently Ashley, to manifest whatever she wants in life, she thinks about it as she's climaxing. So Sean obviously asks Manuel, and Manuel's like, I don't talk about these things publicly. And Sean's like, well, you have to. And then Ashley's like, we've talked about this before, blah, 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 blah. And so finally we get into this next part where Ashley goes and buys candles shaped like male parts, and then she puts male ejaculation on them and burns them. Gross! Yes, you heard that right. She burns ejaculation-filled candles. I don't even want to know what her house smells like. At some point during all this, we revisit the scene where Ashley and Manuel had like makeup sex in the bathroom of that coffee shop. And I guess that's like a normal thing for them. They just fight and go have sex in strange places. And then Sean, once again, gets a little frisky and takes a poll about which couples have had sex in public coffee shop bathrooms. And most everyone says no, except for Rob, who admits that he's done that, but not with Sophie. Sophie is a little bit like, oh, what about me? Are you sure? And then he's like, well, let's go do it right now. And then she's like, no. So no sweat lost on that one. I really thought Sophie would be more upset because that is like a little rude to bring up and a little weird, but whatever. We move on. So now the fun and games are over. We bring out Ashley's mom and sister, and they are not coming by video. They are live on set. So this is fun. Ashley's mom looks really pretty. Like all these girls in this family know how to dress. I actually recognize also the mom's dress from Shein. So they are Shein shoppers. They've gotten all their looks there, but they're very nice. They know how to pick the right colors, and they have great skin. And also all the women in that family have such white teeth. I don't know if they're whitening them or this is like a genetic thing, but they have such gorgeous white teeth. Then Ashley's mom in her beautiful like purple lavender dress, she's like not buying it. She's like, I don't like Manuel. I don't trust him, blah, blah, blah. No one likes him. The sister agrees. And the mom and the sister at some point are like holding hands and grasping each other as they cry like Ashley has been sold into some sort of weird sex slave. Like, I get it. I don't really like Manuel. There's something slimy and gross about him, but he also doesn't seem like the brightest man in the world. So I don't think he's some mastermind con man. I think he wanted to come to America. He likes Ashley good enough. They have sex strange places. Like, I honestly think it's not too deep there. I don't know if they're the love of each other's lives, but I don't think it's as deep as the mom thinks. Anyways, and then we have Jasmine jumping in and she's like, oh, everyone, I am also from a Latin American third world country and I can relate to Manuel. You know, when you grow up in extreme poverty like that, you see the world differently. And he needs that money because he's living in fear. He has a fear-based wiring in his brain, which may or may not be true, but Manuel jumps on that, leans into it, and just runs with it. He's like, yes, I've been working since I was 13 to provide for my family. Life has been so hard. And then all of a sudden, Ashley's mom like gasps, and she's like, oh my God, I didn't even know that. Oh, I have so much empathy for Manuel right now. It's like a complete switch to now it's like she's grasping him. She reaches across the set, grabs Manuel's hand, and she's like, I'll always be there for you, baby. You are my child now. So I don't know where everyone stands on this. I think most of the set is like, wow, that's like a really big flip. This is a little weird. This is uncomfortable. Like, obviously there is a slight little con man vibe to Manuel because they do have a discussion about how he doesn't tell Ashley really important things, and she agrees. Anyways, then Rob across the set, when he sees Manuel and Ashley's mom bonding, was like, wow, that's so amazing you have a mother-in-law like that. Just to give like one last stab to evil biatch Claire. He just reams it in there, twists the knife. You gotta love Rob. He really always seizes the moment to play the victim and bring some drama. He is like a perpetual toddler. So then we get spicy and switch it up a little, and we are going to have questions from viewers. So we cut to this scene. It feels very uncomfortable to me. It's like we have these two people. They're holding a brand new baby. They look really awkward, strange looking people. A white wall behind them. I mean, they look like hostages. And they ask Sophie, how does she not be a raging bisexual when she is in a relationship? How does she keep it in her pants? And Sophie's like, when I'm in a relationship, I think about the person I'm with. Duh. Like, that was such a weird and almost like inappropriate question. But then it gets even weirder. We jump off the cliff and we are talking about eating guinea pigs. They ask Anna Lee, does she look at Clayton's guinea pigs and get unhinged cravings to just throw them in a pot and eat them? And she's like, what? No, there are pets. Like, yes, I like guinea pig and it's delicious, but I don't look at our pets as like food to eat. Now, Wiccan Ashley, on the other hand, she had no problem trying guinea pig while in Ecuador. She goes off on a story about her guinea pig Rosie she had growing up, and she did feel a little bad about trying guinea pig. And she did say guinea pig was not worth eating. Like, the feeling she had for Rosie and the taste of the guinea pig were not worth it. And instead of leaving this whole guinea pig debacle in a sort of decent place with, you know, that they may not be the greatest food in the world, Anna Lee jumps back in one more time to remind us how scrumptious, yumptious, and delicious guinea pigs are. So where the cast stands on the taste quality of guinea pigs, we do not know. As Sean would say, it doesn't look like we're resolving this today, so let's move along. But what we do know, and it is great news for Clayton, that his guinea pigs are marked safe from being fried up and served to be eaten by his bride, Anna Lee. So then we have one last fan question, and this one, I actually thought it would be a hotter mess than it was. I think they kind of handled it. I mean, they didn't handle it well because I would have liked this to get messy, but they were a little clever. So the question is, of all the 90-day entire franchise, besides your partner, who would you want to have a baby with? Dun, 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 dun! It does sound like terror and chaos is about to unleash. But it does not. So I don't know who chose who first, but Nikki and Jasmine decide they're gonna have a baby together. Then they're gonna have the babies the opposite way. I don't know how it would all work. None of that matters because this is a fantasy question. But Jasmine and Nikki are in some sort of crazy, delusional, over-the-top princess love affair. I don't think any of us want to see it. I don't know. I don't personally want to see it. Not into it. I think that's gonna be way too much glitter, way too much sequins, way too many claws. I mean, someone's gonna get hurt. I mean, come on, right?
I'll watch.
There you go.
My man.
Oh, boy.
Really, I just imagine Gino and Justin like fist bumping, both watching Nikki and Jasmine.
Ay, ay, ay.
So Jasmine and Nikki, I feel like, gave the cast all an easy out because then Rob picks Gino, and Rob's reasoning is he is matching. Rob's wearing a silk brocade jacket in like a blue and black color, and Gino's got on a silk brocade hat in a blue and black color. So they are going to procreate based on their questionable fashion choices. And then we go, I don't even know, honestly, I think all the other answers were just as dumb. I think there was some talk about Yara being sexy and hot amongst the other girls and whatever. So, but then we pan back to Justin Igor, who hasn't realized he has an easy out on this question. And what does Justin Igor do? Oh, I don't know how dumb he can be. He picks his jilted lover's best friend. He picks Jasmine. Like, what are you doing, Justin Igor? Jasmine is having nothing to do with this. Justin Igor's like, yes, I want to show how good we are from my country or something like that. And Jasmine is just like leaning into it. She's like, someone get me a barf bag. I'm going to throw up. She doesn't say that, but she's like acting like she's going to literally vomit. It looks like she just ate the most disgusting thing in the world and she is going to throw up everywhere. I mean, good on Nikki. She has chosen a best friend that will cut someone's eyes out without even thinking about it if you slight them. So Nikki has like the pit bull of the tell-all set on her side. Jasmine is ready to lean in and kill anyone she has to defend her best friend Nikki. So next up, we're going to go into Jasmine and Gino's story. So we go all the way back to the beginning where Jasmine spent her wedding dress money on butt implants and got the remaining balance from her old boyfriend that she lived in that building with. Which Jasmine has, when they were in arguments, made comments like, he is better in bed than you, I had sex with him. I know she was lying because she's so unhinged, but still, like, Jasmine is a one-way street. She seems to have no rules for what she can do when she's mad. But then Gino, he's got a list of rules that's ever changing. The goalposts are like nowhere in sight, and then they're right there in front of his nose, on top of his hat. He can never find the goalposts. So Jasmine is defending her butt implants, and then everyone's like, oh, Gino, do you like the butt implants? Are they perfect? And he's like, well, actually, they could be a little bigger. I'm a butt man myself. So I don't know. They might be getting new implants sometime soon, shoving a little more in there. And then it's revealed that Nikki and Jasmine are butt buddies because they got butt implants at the same time. So next we're going to go deep into Jasmine and Gino's season. And their producers have thought of a way to bait and goad Jasmine that works like a charm. But first, let's just kind of recap their season. They go over the lipstick that Jasmine found in the car. She says it was brand new. So they do like a poll with the cast if, is it a problem that there was lipstick in the car? Most of them are like, no, it doesn't really seem a problem. I don't know. At the time when that happened, I thought it was like set up as something for a storyline for them. You know, because I would feel like if Jasmine really found that lipstick in the car, especially now at the tell-all, she would be like holding that as a trophy and a victory of why Gino is the devil here on Earth. But, you know, she kind of lets this go and we move along. The next topic is their sex life, how, you know, Jasmine says mean things and she's kind of unhinged, and that prevents Gino from getting the old boy up. He doesn't like being emasculated, you know, which is pretty true. But then Jasmine's like, oh, you always tell me these things that, you know, my ex-girlfriends are better in bed. So then Sean, trying to go Jasmine, this isn't the real where she flies off the rails. Sean tries to go Jasmine by saying to Gino, well, were your ex-girlfriends better in bed or not? There's a long, awkward silence. Everyone's eyes are darting around. And Gino says no finally, but everyone comments on the long, awkward silence. I mean, Gino had no choice. He either says yes, because they're not crazy and unhinged, so it is a little easier to get it on with them, and then he loses his life, or he just lies and says no. So, I mean, he was in a lose-lose situation, and he did the best he could there. So now, just when Jasmine thinks she's escaped this whole tell-all, holding it together somewhat okay, they drop a bomb before we go to commercial, and Jasmine is already off the rails. They are going to play a never-seen-before clip of Gino's bachelor party at the strip club. But first, they are going to drag this out and torture us, so we cut to commercial, and we are holding our breath waiting for the meat of this tell-all for Jasmine to fly off the rails. So we come back and they start playing the footage. It's not too bad, you know, you can tell Gino is wasted in the footage. He's there with his red-faced buddy and a few other dudes. You know, looks like he's having a good time, and then he starts flopping around on stage. It looks like he's nice and wasted. Everyone's naked, and then he commits the cardinal sin. He hugs one of the strippers. So then Sean's like to Jasmine, are you okay? Is this okay? And Jasmine's like, yes, I'm fine. But her like veins are bulging out of her head. She is bright red. Nothing is fine about Jasmine. They continue the clip. And then Sean has another surprise for Jasmine, who is doing her best to hold it together, but the glue and thread is unraveling. They are going to bring the stripper Gino hugged on set virtually. So the stripper gets like 2 sentences out of her mouth. She's adorable, but she's young. She's like nothing like Jasmine. Like, I just don't know how Jasmine gets so jealous. But she says that, you know, Gino seemed more interested in getting drunk and partying with his friends. Nothing inappropriate happened. I mean, she couldn't even finish the second sentence before Jasmine is standing up. She is screaming. She is wailing. You never hug me that way. I've never been hugged that way. Ah! Ah! And she's like panting, and she's rephrasing that Gino has never hugged her that way, like every possible way she can reword it. The stripper tries to get 1 or more 2 words in, but it's done. It's gone. Jasmine is starting to walk off set. She's like, if I saw this video before we got married, we would never have had the wedding. I hate you, Gino. How could you do this to me? And then she's like, Nikki! So she's running off set. Nikki's running off set. It's like sparkles and tulle everywhere. There's extensions flying everywhere. It is just pure madness. Jasmine is like wailing backstage in Nikki's arms, and she's like, Nikki, how could he do this to me? Nikki! And Gino's just kind of like sitting on set, like he's like unaffected, which I guess at this point, like you've seen this enough that it kind of doesn't affect you, but he's also got like a little smile on his face. Like when the whole strip club thing was playing, he was ignoring Jasmine next to him, who was like just exploding. And he was kind of just like smiling and watching and reliving the experience. So, I mean, yeah, I think he had a good time. And yeah, he should be able to show that and express it. But you also married this woman and you know how she reacts. So, like, hold that in. Like, it's just these two disconnects. So the people on set are like, yo, Gino, like, are you going to go after her? Like, what are you going to do? And Gino's just like, I don't know. And that is it, guys. They're going to draw this out next week on part 2. We do get a little preview. And in that preview, they do reveal that Gino's ex was a stripper. So Gino has a type, and that is why Jasmine is freaking out. So during the season, I'm not like huge into Jasmine and Gino. It's like the same thing over and over. Gino exists, and Jasmine freaks out because he is existing in his oblivious little Gino world. It's like over and over the same thing. But for the tell-all, Jasmine is holding this whole event together. She is the gold. She is the dynamite. She is everything we needed for a tell-all. So I hope next week we just focus on Jasmine and Nikki, to be honest. I mean, none of these other people matter at this point. We just want to see the chaos, the destruction, and the set just fall apart. And Jasmine will be the one to do it for us with her new best friend, Nikki.